Hey everyone, and welcome back to Toy Picker Infinity's Toy Channel. I just wanted to show you my collection. I haven't done this for everybody yet and kind of gone over some of my collection. This is some of it's still in boxes, but I was able to get most of it back in the glass case after having our bathroom repaired after the flood. From the pipe breaking in the ceiling, but it's all good now. So anyway, this is my collection where over the next few months or year or however long it takes, pulling these guys out of the case and shooting video on them. So this is my entire collection, except for the guys that are still in the box, like I said. And there's a few of my big ones that aren't here, because when I had the flood, I did have to sell a couple of them because of the insurance deposit, of course, before the insurance company takes over. But this is my collection. So each of these are pretty much museum quality pieces. I am actually proud to have quite a few of these, as I was able to buy them from the Robot Japan auction when our head of Robot Japan sold a lot of his collection, and these were all museum quality pieces. I bought quite a few, and then over the years I have some of my own, of course, and other stuff that I've kind of picked up. I tend to be, I want very nice or decent pieces, and these are all complete. Every single one of these that I have in the boxes, all the accessories and everything is there. So let's talk about a little bit of them. So on the bottom row here, I have all of the Super Sentai Godaikins or Megazords. There's Dynaman, Machine Man, Bioman, Goggle 5, and behind Goggle 5 and all of them is my Goggle Caesar, which I've shot videos on those. And then this guy right there is my mid-size Lion Bot, or the mini Lion Bot, that's fully transformable. And I don't have his sword on him. Need to get his sword in there. And then I have Machine Dolphin. And back there is Tranzor Z, or Mazinga. And then here's Zabungle. And oops. And in the back, oh yeah, in the very back there, I have a full McDonald's Inspector Gadget. It's one of those silly things that I keep back there. And then there's Valvalos, De Leon, and one of the Voltron 2 robots. I need to get the other guys, the black and the blue one, but this is just one of the Voltron 2s, the red ones. And then I got Leopoldin and the Popy version of Laseron with the full armor. I do have a Godaikin box, so I have both boxes, but I only have one robot, but the foam's pretty much the same. But there's my fully armored Laseron. And then I have one of my Voltes jets, and need to get another Voltes 5. Combator and Voltes 5 are two of the ones that I had to sell to pay for my deductible for my insurance when my house flooded. And there's the KO Tetsujin 28 that I just did a video on. Miracle Productions Vehicle Voltron there, which is super nice. If you guys can pick one of those up, that is a really, really good representation of the original vintage Die Ruger or vehicle Voltron, which I have next to him, but that is the Japanese Die Ruger right there with the sword and everything. Then there's SDF-1, one of my most favorite robots besides Daltonius. I love SDF-1. Transforms into a ship, and I know that there's tons and tons of humans inside that thing, and if you really looked on an actual scale, SDF-1 would be, probably about 10 times the size of Voltron itself, if it was real life. But I love SDF-1, one of the coolest toys, and that's a Matchbox version. I'd love to get a Popy version or the original Bondi version. What do they call it? The construction Macross or whatever. And I'd love to get that one because that has all the shooting parts. And then there's a Machinda right there, and that is it's a complete Machinda. I don't have the box, but I actually have all the missiles and everything to it, and those are so hard to find with everything to them. Then down here's my little die-cast metal KO vehicle Voltron, my knockoff vehicle Voltron. This is like the Popy one. Sorry that my hands are shaking a little bit. Kind of does that since I told you guys I've been dealing with some health problems and stuff, so my hands shake a little bit. So sorry, the phone's a little shaky. But anyway, that's the KO vehicle Voltron, and I leave it in vehicle mode just so you can kind of see what the Voltrons would look like if they were in vehicle mode. And then this one is the Chinese KO vehicle Voltron. So if you transform those guys into the robot, he would actually look like that. But this one's all plastic. And these are both plastic and die cast. Kind of cool though. I'm not actually a big Die Ruger fan. I just happen to have all these because I've kind of collected them over the years. But it's kind of cool to have them all. And then back there is my super nice Dietarn 3. Really hard to find those in near mint or mint condition, and that one's in near mint condition. And then we have Die Tetsujin 1.7 and Dan Cougar, whichever way you want to call it. That's a Godaikin one. That's a Godaikin one. And then when we have a Bega, and a Bega, it just turns into a ship. All three of these robots turn into a big fighter ship. It's one of the stranger, odder Godaikins, but it's still kind of cool. I'll now shoot a video on that. And then there's Godmars back there, and that is a crossover super combination Godmars. It actually has a European box. All of the Godmars figures have the Popy and Bondi markings and everything, but the box is a die-cast metal box. So kind of a cool crossover, probably when Bondi pulled their licensing from die-cast metal and stopped making the super robots. This was kind of one of those crossover pieces. And then this back here is my God Sigma, and this God Sigma is super special. He is in near mint. Well, he was in mint condition. This God Sigma is the last store purchased God Sigma on the West Coast. This was actually sitting in Kimono, my house over here on the West Coast for decades, and brand new in the box. And I went in there and couldn't resist taking it out because it was the last Godaikin I had ever seen in an actual store. So, and Kimono, my house is a little ma Japanese toy store on the West Coast over here. So that is the last store-bought or last store-held God Sigma on the West Coast, and it's in my glass case. And then I have everything else for it. It's pretty cool. And there's the PC-10. And this little vehicle, a lot of people don't know, if you have a Tetsujin 28, this is the actual vehicle that the boy rides in to get inside Tetsujin 28. And this little vehicle actually mounts on the back of Tetsujin's back. So if you remove the backpack, you can stick this vehicle. It has magnets on the bottom of its feet, and you can stick it right onto the back of Tetsujin like it's getting ready to go inside. So kind of a cool little piece. It's very, very rare. Hard to find these in the box. Most of them are loose. Most of them have that little antenna broken off. Very hard to find those in the box, but here's mine. And then up here, sorry the light's kind of glaring on it. This is my chrome joint Godaikin Go Lion, which I did a video on that, and I do not put it in robot mode because the chrome is just excellent on this sucker, and it is in near mint condition. But that's my chrome joint Go Lion. And then behind it, I have my very rare V-belt Lion bot. What makes it very rare, not only does it have the chrome joints and it's a V-belt, look at the crest. Most Voltrons, Go Lions, or Lion bots have a flat bottom crest. This crest actually points to the bottom. Very, very rare to find those like that. There's, from what I understand, not hardly any made beyond just a couple hundred. But I have one. And then my favorites up here, Daltonius. Daltonius, of course, as I've said before, is my #1 favorite. So here's my vintage one, and then I also have the Sola Chigokin. The Sola Chigokin Daltonius is one of the coolest Sola Chigokin toys, and it's pretty much the same size as its vintage counterpart. A lot of the Sola Chigokin robots tend to be smaller than their vintage counterpart. Luckily, this one is the same size. As you can see, they're side by side and the same height, and super detailed. And then I have a couple other little guys right here. This is Datagin, and he's in really good condition. Need to dust him. And then I have my Gojira, which I just shot a video on. And, oh, my cool little pickup here. This is a little Popy Combatra. This is the mini one, the Gasfon or Gason. I don't know how they pronounce it. But these come in these little teeny boxes, but it is a fully transformable Combatra. You can take it apart and put it in all the little boxes, and it's really, really tiny, but it is super cool. And it's all plastic. It's made to look like it's die-cast. The paint is really nice on it, but it's super cool. And then Iron Gear over here. That was my first robot as a kid, probably before I had any Transformers. I had one of these knockoff Iron Gears. And so there he is standing back there, and that's a mint one. I have all the parts, or near mint. I have all the parts and the package for it. And then Diamos, good old Diamos back there with all of his stuff. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, there's my whole collection. And maybe next time I'll have to show you all the boxes because this video is about done. All right, everybody, enjoy and have a good day.